Well, Google has done it again. Google has changed how we manage our Google business profiles. And so, what I'm going to show you today is how to manage your Google business profiles from Google search, because that is how Google is forcing us to do that. So, let me go ahead and share my screen and let's get on with it. For most of you, you have probably been used to going to business.google.com to manage your Google business profiles. And when you go there, it's doing what it is doing now. It's taking me directly to Google search to manage my profile. So, as you probably saw, I went directly from business.google.com. And when I clicked on my listing, it's now taking me directly to Google search, which is maddening. Okay. If you're like most of us, we're probably all screaming either out loud or silently inside. But it is the way it is. This is the direction that Google has decided to go. So there are a couple things you can do. First of all, if you manage more than one location, you can still do a few things in bulk. So for instance, you can click on your listings and you can take action. So you can get insights, you can accept changes, discard changes, you can temporarily close businesses, permanently close businesses, and those types of things. So you can do a few things in bulk. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is if you are managing your profiles in Google search, which I'm going to show you how to do in a minute. Right now, you can't edit post images. You can't crop them or resize them in Google search. But if you stay in business.google.com and you click on the create post, then you can edit images. And so that's where you would want to create a post if you, for instance, want to go ahead and crop something. So that's where you'd want to go and stay if you want to edit a post or edit an image in Google Business Profile. So it's a little, we're kind of dealing with a little bit of a issue right now with, like let's say you just wanted to show this section and you wanted to upload it. So then you can type something. Always add a call to action, by the way. Let's just do call now. But if we preview it, you can see that I'm zoomed in. Okay, so you can see that I cropped that image. But if we're going to manage in Google Business Profile, or I'm sorry, if we're going to manage in Google Search, what you would need to do is search for my business, which is Early Bird Digital Marketing. And you'll see my knowledge panel on the right-hand side. And then over on the left-hand side, you will see what we will call the merchant panel. So right here is the whole merchant panel. And you can click on this little arrow to expand the menu. Over to the right, you'll see what we call the 3-dot menu or the advanced menu. So that gives you even more functionality. These are called chips or cards, and they're going to vary depending on what you have going on. So yours are going to look different than somebody else's. Okay. And then again, this is the business profile or the knowledge panel, depending on what you want to call it. I call it the knowledge panel. Other people don't. But anyway, so let's say we wanted to go ahead and create a post on our Google Business Profile. They call it an update. Now, why Google cannot call things the same throughout, I don't understand. This should be called add post, but they don't do it. So here you get to select what type of post you want to create. You can do an update, offer, or an event. Whereas when you're in business.google.com and you click on that little icon, you can only do an update post, but you can edit your photo. So like, let's say I want to do an update post here and I want to add a photo. You can see that I do not get the option to edit or crop the photo. There's no option there. And so that's a little trick for you. Okay. So let's just get back to kind of taking a look at the new interface that we're all being forced to use. Thank you, Google, again. So managing your profile in Google search, also referred to sometimes as NMX. You'll hear it referred to as NMX by some Google geeks. Okay. So your Google profile is over here. And so you can add an update here as well. Let's just see if we can edit the photo here. I haven't tried it here. Let's try that. I don't think you can, but let's just try it. Nope, can't do it there either. Okay. So you can add an update here. And then you can also add photos from your knowledge panel. That's kind of cool. That's for me an easier way of doing it. That's the way I prefer to do it when I'm managing in Google search, which is now the only way to manage your Google business profile for the most part, if you want to actually make changes. Again, thank you, Google. So if you want to edit your profile, this is the bulk of your information. This is where you're going to find your main information. Now, if Google has changed any of your information, whether it's from user suggested edits or from information that Google finds online, which Google can do at any time, and those changes will go live without you having a say about it, you will receive an email, but they will show up in blue. Those highlights will be in blue. I don't think I have any, but those changes will show up in blue. And you can click on the pencil to change them or edit them, but they'll show up in blue. Now, you will sometimes have to hunt and peck and try and find those changes if you get an email, because Google does not tell you where those changes are at, okay? But you can change your business name, your categories, your description, the opening date, your contact information, your website URL, and just remember, websites cannot be redirect URLs, social media URLs, or what's the other one? I can't remember. Sorry. And if you don't have a real URL, real website, leave that blank. Okay. Short names have been deprecated, meaning they're no more gone. So if you do not already have a short name picked out from months and months and months and months ago, you will not see short name. If you have a short name, do not change it because you will not get it back. Okay. Just leave it as is. Business location. For me, I run my digital marketing agency out of my lovely basement office. And so I can't display my address. If you're a service area business and run your business out of your home or a business location or a location where customers can't come to, then you're not allowed to show your address. Okay. So I have service areas, I have my business hours, and then the more hours are more for like restaurants and stuff like that. I identify as women owned. Appointment required. That's not really necessary or applicable. I do have offers online appointments. And so that's pretty much it with regard to business information. I can also read reviews. Now, one thing it would be nice is if Google would tell us what reviews have not been responded to. But right now we're not allowed to see that. In the business.google.com interface, we were allowed to see what reviews were not responded to. But in the new interface, as of today's date, the recording date, we're not allowed to see that. So that kind of sucks. But we can see the newest. So I guess it's the best way to do it. But anyway, so you can reply to reviews. If you want to go ahead and get a shortcut of a review link to give to customers to leave reviews, you can get that there as well. Okay. Messages, if you have your messaging feature turned on, you can go ahead and turn them on here on the messages section. And then you can also respond to messages through Google Maps on your smartphone. And I actually use High Level, which is a third-party tool. You can also integrate third-party tools using Google Messages. And so that's why you'll see check High Level to respond to messages. But if you are not using a third-party tool, then you'll be able to respond to messages, turn messages on from here. You can add photos. You can add a photo from your business, a logo, and a cover photo. Just keep in mind that the logo, there can be some issues with uploading your logos. and the cover photo. And with regard to the cover photo, you can upload a cover photo. And when it comes to cover photos, just remember that Google can select whatever cover photo they want to show for you. Okay. Performance. This is where you get to see your overall performance and your insights. And so this is kind of great information for you to see. They have taken away the photo insights. And then there was another one that they took away as well, and I cannot remember what it is. You can see how many calls were made, how many messages you received. It's going to be 0 here just because I'm using the third-party tool, website clicks, and all that kind of stuff. So good information there. Advertise, I'm just going to ignore. That just takes you out to Google Ads. Edit products. Since I am not a storefront and don't have any products to sell right now, I am creating a Google Business Profile course. So I will be adding that product soon. Stay tuned and message me or go ahead and hit me up DM on Twitter at Sherry Bonelli if you'd like to be notified when that product comes out. You can edit services. And oh, here we go. Here's blue. So services were changed based on feedback from Google. Okay. So these are all the changes that Google decided to add for my services. So let's see. I do have an SEO course. Let me edit these a little bit. So Google has kind of a funny way of adding some of these services in. But yeah, basically you can go in, and if you don't want some of the changes that they've added, you can go in and click that edit button, which you probably saw me do. Okay. So I unchecked the ones that I did not want. And then I'm going to click save. So see how until you actually go in and poke around, you really don't know where those changes are at, which is kind of annoying. I really wish that Google would put a banner up here that said, Google has made changes to your services or to your products or to your address or something so that we would know, but they don't. Okay. Booking. This is where I have my Calendly and my You Can Book Me appointments so that people can book appointments with me. If you are a hotel, then you would obviously have more extensive and more detailed booking services. You'd have to work with one of the preferred partners that Google has. And again, a lot of these features are category dependent. So depending on the category that you have for your business profile and your company and what type of business you have, your features are going to look different than the features that I have. Calls. This is if you want to turn on the call history, which I don't. So I'm turning that off. Questions and answers. This is where you can answer questions that people have asked of you. I always recommend that you check this to make sure that people haven't asked questions that you have not answered, because you as a business owner want to be the ones to answer those questions. With questions and answers, anybody can ask you questions and anybody can answer those questions, which is kind of scary. So just make sure that you answer those questions and that you are the one that answers those questions if they're asked of you. And you should get an email notification from Google letting you know that someone has asked a question. Okay. We already looked at add and update. And again, these are for posts. Google, please just call them add post or create post. Please do that. That'd be so much easier. It would make much more sense. For a company that is supposedly known for usability and UX, I really wish they'd be consistent with their naming. And then you can also ask for reviews. And again, this is how you copy that URL. And again, if someone were to paste that URL in, they would go directly to be able to leave a review for my Early Bird Digital Marketing company. See how easy that is? It just makes it super easy for people to leave reviews for you. And then down here in the chips or the cards, there are different things you can do down here. You can add a post. You can create an ad. You can get more reviews. You can see different information down here. So, yep, pretty much it. So that's how you now manage your Google business profile in Google search. One trick is you can search for my business and look what happens. Now, for me, since I manage multiple businesses, I see multiple businesses here. But if you only manage one business, you would only see one business. So that's kind of a cool trick. You can also just type in my business. But again, with regard to not being able to use your business.google.com, that's a real bummer, guys. Really sorry. I wish it weren't true, but it is. So Google is now pushing us to Google search to manage our Google business profile. So this is where we're going to have to be, guys. Let me stop sharing. So I would love to know what you guys think about this new management style for Google business profiles. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? So I think the whole purpose is to make it easier for single business owners that only have one business. It's supposedly easier to use. I'm not 100% certain of that. For me, it's not easier. I think it's a little bit more confusing than the old way. And then the way it was rolled out was very jolting. I mean, very, very jolting. There was really no heads up. All of a sudden, you were on business.google.com, you clicked on your link, and suddenly you were thrown out to Google search. So I think the way it was rolled out was really not very tidy and neat and not very user friendly. So I'm curious to think what you think about the new way to manage your Google business profiles. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So leave them in the comments below, and look forward to speaking with you again about local SEO, content marketing, and of course, my favorite topic of all, Google business profiles. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.